Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio everybody. What is going on? It is Galeriot here, and welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi Memoria Chronicle video. And today we are going to be showcasing the brand new Water Bell and Lefiya, and we're going to be checking out how good they truly are. Of course, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and of course let me know in the comment section down below if you have used the new Lefiya and Bell. What do you guys think about them? Do you guys like them, dislike them? What do you guys think could be better about them? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say. Now, this Bell and Lefiya is, in my personal opinion, a whole nother level of power creep. And when I say power creep, I mean genuinely power wise. It's insane how strong this Bell is and how good of a support Lefiya is. Now, of course, I still do believe, and I'll get this out of the way, I still think Christmas Eyes is probably the best overall unit, purely because I think Christmas Eyes is better in just the general scenario, dealing with multiple enemies and so on and so forth. I think she's still the best. But if you can get Bell stacked up, if you can get him to get his, Realist stacks, and we'll talk about what Realist stacks are in just a moment if you still don't know what they are. If you want to get Bell's Realist stacks up, and if you can get it up, and if you can utilize his special move to great effect, he is the best single target attacker in this game by and far away. Literally, if you take him into the raid, well, once it gets fixed, because there are some issues with Bell and the raid at this moment in time, and with Lefiya as well. But if Bell gets fixed in the raid, which he will inevitably, and of course for story boss stages, I think he is by and far away the best unit in the game, and you'll see why in just a moment when we start using him. But like I said, the Realist stacks and the Realist buff is a completely brand new buff that they've added to the game, and we can take a look right here as to what exactly it is. So his normal attacks are exactly the same, but his first skill has an attack multiplier of 84% at 2 stars and at level 7. A short cooldown, a really short cooldown by the way, which is quite interesting to be quite honest, because it's the same cooldown in terms of the description. It's the exact same cooldown as every other technique, but for some reason he needs way fewer hits in order to get it going, which is, I don't understand the logic behind it. Is it some numbers that we cannot see or something like that? But it feels like his technique 1 can come up within 2 hits, whereas other units, including speed units with type advantage, take like 4 or 5 hits even. So it's quite interesting in that regards. But it is a front-facing AoE attack, and he gains 3 Realis at 2 stars. At 0 stars, it's 2 Realis, or not even 2 stars. At 1 star, it's 2 Realis. But at 2 stars, he gains 3 Realis for 10 seconds to own unit. And Realis is a brand new buff that gains or grants a in status increase by 1%, and a maximum of 10 can be stocked. And the effect timer resets once a new one is stocked. So whenever a new one is stocked, be it just from Lefiya's or from Bell's techniques, it will immediately reset the timer and start from fresh, allowing you to basically keep the stacks ongoing at all times. Now, a lot of people have wondered whether Realist is only usable by Bell and Lefiya. No, that's not the case. Every single unit in the game can use the Realist stocks and can gain the in status increase, so they can get that 10% in status increase, of course. And that's the reason why I think Lefiya is so good, because she's such a good support for every unit in the game pretty much. Obviously best support for water units, but also generally great support unit because of the Realist stocks and everything. But the only thing that Bell and Lefiya, or Bell specifically, can do with the Realist stocks is consume it to increase his own damage, which you can see in skill 2 with double firebolt being able to consume 1 Realist stock and increase its damage by 20%. And then of course his special move Realist firebolt, which of course has an 840% attack multiplier at 1 star, 720% at 0 stars, so gains 120% at 1 star, and it can consume all of your units Realist and increases damage by 20% per Realist consumed. So very, very powerful special move there, of course, and it's ridiculous as to how much damage you can see from it, and we'll show you guys the damage in just a moment. But I think Bell is a great single target unit. I think when we get raids and story battle stages that are going to be weak against blue, and even generally I feel if you can keep up with the CP requirements and everything, I think Bell might be just generally the best single target unit, even with type neutrality. I don't know about type disadvantage. That's something I think we'll have to do some testing on. But I think type neutrality and type advantage, Bell is the best single target unit by and far away. I think when type disadvantage comes into play, maybe you can make an argument and say that maybe taking a earth unit actually against the purple units, because purple units is what is stronger than blue units. Maybe a earth DPS unit would be stronger than Bell in that scenario. But I mean, considering the rostrum of earth units we have right now, I think Bell might still be the strongest one, stronger one out of the two DPS, yellow units we have in Lefiya and of course Halloween Cassandra, right? So that's something to bear in mind. I think he's really, really powerful. But then we move on to Lefiya. Now Lefiya, in my personal opinion, is the better long-term unit than Bell. Now, I got spoiled in my live stream yesterday as to where the JP tier list ranked Lefiya. According to my chat, it was A tier, which I completely and wholeheartedly disagree with. I think Lefiya is effectively, like I've said in previous videos and live streams, is this game's Bennett, basically. I think a lot of people are underestimating how good she truly is. First and foremost, she's able to give a HP recovery to all your units from her skill 1. Her skill 2 is able to give a magic buff to all units for 10 seconds as well. And then furthermore, her special move, Ring Lavatain, is able to, well, at 0 stars first and foremost, give a field effect of 26 seconds, which, by the way, the field is massive, gives a water damage boost, a regen, HP regen, the first unit, by the way, I think in this game, to give HP regen, by the way. And then on top of that, gives a stock of Realis almost every second as well, which is excellent in all honesty. Really good for Bell, but also generally as well, giving a 10% in status boost to all your allies as well is fantastic. And then furthermore, the moment you give her an additional star, which, I mean, considering how many rainbow bonds are being distributed in this game, I think it's very easy to get this star. Like, I have 17 rainbow bonds now. If I didn't get my second copy of Lefiya, I low-key would have considered going for that rainbow bond, not gonna lie. But it boosts up how long the field effect is on for. You also get the water damage buff still. You get an increased damage as well, a general increased damage boost as well. You obviously have a higher HP regen, and then you still have the int status boost from the Realis buff as well, which is fantastic. Again, like I said, I think this Lefiya is going to go under the radar for a bit of time, but then long term, you know, in the cases of co-op content, especially if they do decide we're going to add more co-op content in the future, the fact that this Lefiya can support every unit in the game, and more specifically so, of course, support the heck out of water units as well, I think that this makes her a fantastic option to get. And honestly, this is really good bait. I must admit, this banner is really good bait. After using them for a little bit, I think this banner is incredible bait even, I would say. Now, the question is, of course, a lot of people have is, you know, should they save up for the half anniversary or go for these units? It's hard. I think if you have the Selas, if you have like 50,000 plus Selas, I think it might be worth doing a couple of multis to just see how it goes, because I do think that these two units are insane. And not to mention, water units is something we're all struggling on. I think water and electric are probably the weakest two elements in the game right now, by and far away, and especially because looking at the general pool, those two are the weakest elements. I think fire is, you know, you can get away with it because Bell is still a very solid unit. Earth is also decentish with Lefiya and Gareth, of course. Green is obviously a no issues whatsoever scenario, basically because it has way too many good non-time limited units. And then, you know, on the other side, you have blue and purple, which are struggling, quite honestly speaking, because purple has no good DPS units and blue's only DPS unit is Tiona, and then that's about it realistically. So it's a little bit of a struggle for those two elements in my personal opinion, but you know, this is the perfect opportunity for people to get these blue units, because who knows when we're gonna get some non-time limited blue units as well, right? So keep that in mind. Now let's go into the story quest, and I'm going to go into the very hard stage of Lily Ruka Arde, because I feel like this is the best stage to do in order to see exactly how good Bell and Lefiya are. Now, one thing I'm also going to do here, in order to get that big PP damage and show you guys how much damage you can actually get from these units. I'm gonna just change up this team ever so slightly. We're gonna do this basically, and you're gonna see exactly what we're getting here. Now, I've gone full special move damage in my kit for Bell, and along with that, I've gone for the new battle item from the event, which gives 20% magic to self and 10% increases special move damage. So it's literally perfect. Oh yeah, I forgot that we have already done it. I did it on live stream yesterday, probably why. So let's go back out and let's go into hard. Hard will also be fine enough. It does mean we'll probably deal a little bit more damage here, because of course in each stage you tend to deal more damage because the defenses of the opponent are or as the stage becomes easier, technically you'll deal more damage because the defenses get lowered as you go along. So on normal difficulty, the defense of the enemy is the lowest. On hard, it's the middle level, and then of course very hard has the highest defense. So we're gonna go into a stage where of course the defense of the ant is going to be a bit high, but I think we'll still be able to showcase Bell's insane amounts of damage. I will say these numbers are of course a little bit exaggerated, purely because we're going for such a wanked setup basically, right? It's utterly wanked. These setups are absolutely wanked to another level. It's not really a great judgment call of how these setups truly are, but it gives you a good idea on exactly how strong these units can be. So now let's take a look at the Realist stacks. We are at 10 Realist stacks. We've got a break. Let's see the damage here. 416,000 without a crit on the hard difficulty, by the way. This is on the hard difficulty. We were able to get 416,000 without a crit. I'm gonna do it again, and we're gonna see if we can get a crit this time around, because I think with that crit it should be around 500,000+ damage. Now if I go into normal, you'll probably see around 800 to 900,000. I got 900,000 yesterday on stream. Of course we'll try it out and again and see it in the normal difficulty and show you guys exactly how it goes, but it's absolutely insane as to how strong this Bell is. Honestly, it is insane. What we're also gonna do is I want to show you guys him in score attack. We're gonna take him into score attack as well, and the reason why I want to do that is because I want to show you Bell in a scenario where he may not be the greatest unit on the planet as well at the same time. Because the thing is, right, a lot of people may think that this Bell is insane in every scenario based on how much damage he's outputting there, of course, which is, I mean, I don't think that I would blame anybody there for thinking that, to be quite honest. It makes a lot of sense as to why somebody would think that, but you have to remember that this is a Bell that of course is great in a single target situation. I really hope he decides to go into shield mode, please. There we go, and then now we'll launch this. Please crit, Bell. There we go, we got a crit there, and it's 510,000 damage. Insane, right? Insane amounts of damage there. We're gonna go over to normal, and I'm gonna show you guys his damage on normal difficulty. Now, like I said again, remember that on easier difficulties these numbers are blown up, and then on harder difficulties they'll just get lower and lower and lower. But keep in mind that doesn't change the fact that you're still dealing an insane amount of damage even in harder difficulties. I was able to beat the Goliath stage while being I think it was like 5,000, 6,000 power under with a complete blue setup, the team you saw at the very beginning before I put in Haruhime and Hestia, and I was able to defeat the very hard Goliath stage at the end. This Bell is cracked, like I said, along with Lefiya. Lefiya, again, a lot of people may underestimate her because she's not doing that much compared to Bell. Bell is the one, outputting all this damage, but Lefiya is insane in itself as well. Lefiya has, a lot of things going for her that make her a fantastic option as well for players, and that's something to keep in mind as well. 1 second, I need the, come on, there we go. Do this. I need to charge up my stocks here, so we're gonna have to let go of this, unfortunately, and I'm gonna have to hope that he goes into a shield again. Please bring up your shield. Please bring up your shield, Ant. I think we're gonna lose out on the buffs, unfortunately. He's not going into shield. This is unbelievable. Alright, we're gonna have to retry this. He's not going into a shield. This is the issue I have with this Ant, is because like sometimes he goes into a shield immediately again, sometimes he doesn't. So I'm kind of hoping that he does go into his shield again. You kind of have to preempt it in a way, unfortunately, because there's no way to like expect it to, you know, happen immediately. So you have to get Ring Lavatain up early, because otherwise, honestly, Lefiya's attack actually kills the ant as well, which is kind of annoying. It does kill the ant on normal, which is kind of frustrating, but we have to let it happen. Alright, let's do this, and then I'm gonna just go for the KOs on the ants, the mini ants. Alright, do this. Let's do this. I'm gonna do this. Do this. Alright. Alright, we can get the stats, by the way, without hitting anybody, by the way. I'd like to point that out. You can get the stats without hitting anybody. Hopefully he does it again. Let's see. I'm hoping that he goes into his thingy mababa again. I could probably launch it from here and we can see what happens, but I don't think that's fair. Let's see. Let's see how much damage happens here with, you know, the buffs not being active. Yeah, as I was gonna say, I feel like, one, we're not in the field. Two, you know, I feel like we lost out on a lot of the buffs that we had with the battle item and stuff. So I want to try that again, but this time I want to see if we can get everything off and, you know, have it basically, you know, work in our favor, where we can get that big damage, of course. The damage that I saw last night. And again, if I can't get it done in this video, I'll take a clip from yesterday and put it on screen right now. I mean, that's what we're gonna have to do, basically. I'm gonna have to basically do that worst case scenario. So I'm gonna give it one more shot, and then we're gonna move on to score attack, because I don't want to be on this, you know, mini showcase of like me trying to effectively show you guys like this big damage when I know I got it yesterday. And I was able to get it off fairly easily yesterday. I don't know why it's taking so much from me today, unfortunately, but we can definitely get it done sooner rather than later. There we go. All right, boom. Let's do this. Do this. Do this. Do this. I want to get the stocks up. Let me get the stocks up. Okay, I couldn't get all the stocks up, but we managed to get a lot of it up. So let's see how much this will do. No, not as much. Okay, I'm gonna just pull out the clip from last night where I did get 900,000. So it will play right here. While Belle is doing some big numbers at this point in the stream and whatnot, I think Lefiya is the better option here. I think longer term, because of her supportability, in my personal opinion. As I've said, I think she reminds me a lot of, I mean, I'm gonna keep saying it. She's basically this game's Bennett at this point in time. She's currently the same as Bennett to me personally. Very similar design in terms of concept and everything. Very similar. Very similar in that regard. So for me personally, I think if you are looking to get a long-term unit, I think this is it, basically, you know. He's gonna go into his burst and shield, isn't he? Yeah, okay, that's fine. I don't really care. He can do whatever he wants. Yeah, no, you're good. Don't worry. Right, let's do this. And then do some shenanigans here. Let me heal up here. Do this. 1 second. I need to get 10 stacks. There we go. 900k crit. Let's go. I think if I had him at 5 awakening and this, 1 million 100%. There's the big damage. There is the big damage. All right, now we're going to, and we are back. So there you have it, 900,000 damage, insane amounts of damage, like I said. But we swiftly will move on to score attack. Now, like I said, I'm not gonna show him in the raid just yet, because I feel like it's not worth showing a not working Belle in this game mode just yet, purely because if you look at the issues confirmed, some of the issues include that, well, consuming Realis does not increase the power of White Rabbit Belle's special move and skill 2, and they'll only update that in the next client update, which should be next Tuesday. So in my personal opinion, I feel like it doesn't make sense, to be quite honest. And then of course, this is also another issue where also if you use Lefiya's first skill right after using Ring Lavatain, some of the effects vanish as well. So I feel like this is something we need to wait on, and we'll let it get fixed, and then we will showcase it. But right now I want to show him in two more scenarios. So first, let's go into score attack, and I want to see how he performs in effectively what is a more of a AoE scenario, because remember, this stage is more dependent on effectively dealing damage to multiple waves of enemies rather than just one big boss, right? It's not about just defeating one big boss, it's about defeating multiple enemies. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how this goes, of course, and how this will work, of course. Whether or not Bell is going to be a good option here. Of course, one of the weaknesses of Bell, in my personal opinion, is his range. I'm not a big fan of how his range is. I think it's quite short, and I feel like it's pretty bad in that regards. But it is something that we kind of have to deal with, and it's going to be something that I'm quite interested to see how they handle in upcoming stages, of course. In the next event ranking, are we gonna not face multiple enemies? Is it gonna be one big boss only at all times? Is that gonna be the case? Are we gonna just keep fighting the eyes again and again? Is it gonna be like an army of eyes, like how it was in like the Metal Cooler movie, of like facing multiple metal coolers or something? I don't know. It's gonna be quite interesting because yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. Unfortunately, it's a bit of a weird one where the Bell is like, he's not got a lot of range, so he's not able to attack as often. Of course, we'll see if we are able to get a higher score. My highest score in this game mode is I think 1800 it was for this specific stage, so we'll have to wait and see. The only units I had at the time to do this water stage was, of course, it was literally Tiona, sorry, not Tione, Tiona. So it's gonna be quite interesting to see how we can fare here. All right, let's do this. Let's do this, do that, and then yeah, there you go. That was a example of the bug with Lefiya. Unfortunately, I think if the bug gets fixed, I think maybe the JP player base will rank her higher. But like, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that there's such a big bug like that for the brand new units. It's so weird. I hope whatever compensation we get is pretty good, because I know that the raid mode itself has a lot of bugs as well right now. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what sort of compensations we get for that. I must admit, I'm very impressed by Lefiya's damage, to be quite honest, as well. Lefiya's damage is nothing to scoff at, to be quite honest. Let me do this. There we go. Do this. Okay, I thought we would have enough there. I still maintain it would have been so cool if Lefiya's field inflicted burn as well to all the enemies. Consistently burn damage as well. Oh, that would have made her an insane unit, honestly. That would have made her such a cracked unit. There we go. All right, let's do this. Actually, let's let the multi attack go for it. I will say his special attack can definitely get a lot of people at the same time, which is really good, in all honesty. But getting to that special attack can take some time. We are on the purple bosses, which means that we are in a perfect situation right now, I would say, in terms of effectively getting a lot of damage off and stuff, for sure. There we go. Let's do this. There we go, and then use Firebolt. Nice, good damage. I don't know how much damage that was. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I think it was like 100k or something like that, which is really good. Go for it. Get one. We needed to get one, because I knew I couldn't get multiple like I can do with eyes and stuff. I would like to think that this is around 2100, 2200 points, give or take. Maybe not 2300. Oh. I got a boost of 10 points, I suppose. That's about it. But it's as I said, as I expected. I don't think Bell is a great option for unfortunately this game mode. I think Lefiya is still a good option for this game mode. You could see how she was able to get multiple enemies and stuff there, and also the field effect would help out a unit like Tiona. I just think that Tiona is a better unit for this situation, I feel. So in a game mode like this, I'd personally take Tiona over Bell. But yeah, that's just how his design is. His design isn't meant to be for that game mode. What we're gonna do now as well is we're gonna go into Uncharted Battlefield. We're gonna see how the AI handles just these two units alone. So I've given them okay-ish equipment and an okay-ish set of assists, I feel. I didn't go for it. I didn't have anybody else. The only other assist I had available that I hadn't used were Taki Mikazuchi and Hermes. And honestly, SSR Hermes is still a very good assist as well. So we're going to see how they fare in Uncharted Battlefield as well. And I'm going to wrap up the video after that. Like I said, I think Bell is a fantastic single target option. He will be out of the world when it comes to like single target boss stages and stuff. And once, you know, raid gets fixed as well, I think we're going to see a much stronger unit there. You know, we're going to see a very strong unit and a very strong option for that game mode in any type of type stage, right? Be it like red, blue, yellow, green. I think he'll be fantastic. Purple is the only one where I'll be quite uncertain as to how Bell will perform against, to be quite honest. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, the raw damage is still there, and I think that will be the one that will be something that will help him, you know, get carried even on those stages nonetheless. You know, he's still a fantastic option in those scenarios. So something to keep in mind in that regards. We got Ring Lavatane. You can't see Ring Lavatane there, it seems like. Weird. He's gonna use Firebolt, isn't he? Of course he is. Some things don't change in Uncharted Battlefield, I suppose. Some things don't change. Alright, let's see here. Come on. Yeah, we're good here. Yeah, these two units are insane, man. These two units together are insane. And the thing is, you have to remember, Lefiya's field effect works in co-op as well, mind you. Keep that in mind. It does work in co-op, which makes it even better in my personal opinion. But yeah, very good set of units. I do think that they are worth summoning for, but it's just that, you know, the situation right now is that we're so close to the half anniversary. But is that, you know, I don't know if it's actually worth it because of that, in all honesty. You know, I went 40,000 Selas down, basically. I managed to make my way back up to basically 25,000 Selas, and of course with the upcoming event ranking, as well as just generally login bonuses and everything, CP Selas, battle missions, so on and so forth. I think I can get back up to 40,000 easily by the time the half anniversary starts. I genuinely do believe that, but it's not nowhere near close enough to pity though, is it now, right? And that's still an issue. No matter how much they've improved the Selas income, which they have, by the way, as much as people would like to say that it's still extremely difficult and it's not impossible to get to pity and stuff, it is very much so possible now with the ways they've been introducing to get Selas and stuff. I think it's very much possible to get to pity within like 2.5 months, I would say, maybe 3 months at most, which I think is better. Initially, when we did the calculations, it would have taken us 6 months to get, you know, enough Selas to basically get to pity. The fact that now it's basically, if you're starting from 0 and you're maybe starting new, you're gonna get the Selas very easily, I feel. But, you know, it's a good thing, but of course it still means that, you know, if you are going to be summoning close to a big event like the half anniversary or anniversary, you will want to start saving up like a month and a half, 2 months before the, you know, event goes live, basically, maybe a little bit more even as well. So just keep that in mind, of course. But yeah, very strong units. Just to give you guys an idea on what skill levels they're at, like I said, my Bel's at level 7s across the board, and so is my Lefiyas. Let me know what you guys think about these two units in the comment section down below. I will be making a tier list for them in on the weekend. I'm just gonna use them a little bit more. Maybe also I'm considering also waiting for the raids to drop, or the raid patch to come out where these guys are usable to get a better judgment of them. But to be quite honest, I think the results are going to be the same as what they are in story missions, so I don't see any reason for me to try and push it. What I might try and do is use them more in type disadvantage scenarios to see exactly how they perform there, and I think that would be my judgment call for where I place these two units. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Please be sure to leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take it easy, everybody. Bye bye.